Girl in the Ashes. Chapter 3. 7 years later. I wake up with feathers in my hair and ashes on my face. From the hall I hear father's footsteps as he gets ready to leave for Baldwin, the great merfolk kingdom. He will sell Amishi goods there in exchange for Baldwin's. This time we each get to ask for a souvenir since it's a long trip. I don't want anything, but Tessa and Clara decided on fine mermaid fabrics for the summer ball at the castle. Of course, Tessa also wants pearls and jewels straight from the sea. I sit up and stare into the burnt-out fireplace. I sleep here most nights, even though my bed is more comfortable. Something about sleeping next to the fire warms my heart and makes my dreams soothing. Plus, I no longer have my own room since Tessa claims she can't sleep with Clara's breathing. It is the only complaint she could think of to stop sharing a room once we got another bed in there. So I room with Clara. While her soft snoring hardly bothers me, I prefer to stay up late by the fire until I fall asleep. I'm honestly surprised that no one has caught me sleeping by the fire, but I make sure I get up quickly every morning and wash my face. Today I'm not so worried about cleaning it though. Father leaves in a hurry, and I want to see him off. Grabbing the edge of a nearby table, I pull myself onto my feet. I rush to the front of the house. Father stands there, double-checking the items he's packed. He smiles when he sees me. There's my little princess. The other girls are still sleeping, but they told me last night what they wanted. So that leaves one princess left, he says, raising his eyebrows, something fancy to wear to the ball. I smile and pat one of the horses hooked up to Father's carriage. You know what the king said 6 years ago. I can't go. I'm not lady enough. He chuckles, yes, but that's water under the bridge and has been for a while. The only person who is holding you back is yourself. Besides, you've changed in 7 years. The king wouldn't even recognize you with your raven hair. Hair color changes nothing, Father. I'm still not ladylike. Stop telling yourself that. You've believed that lie for too long. You should stop working so hard and make your debut this summer. Working is what I'm good at, and I enjoy my extra time with Nariel. You mean you do more work with her, he says, taking my shoulders. You have feathers in your hair and ashes on your face, Ella. I was just cleaning the fireplace and those chickens leave their feathers everywhere, I say to cover up. You're going to have to come out sometime and have fun. I would love to go with you, Father, but I know that's not what you mean by that. No, it's not. How about this? I will give you some coins to get something nice with Nariel. Maybe pick out a fabric at the marketplace for a gown? That way you are not working all day, he says, placing small gold coins in my hand. All right, but you better come home safely, I say, hugging him and kissing his cheek. Love you, Father. And I love you, Princess, he says, hugging back. He lets go and hops up to the driver's seat. I watch as he rides away with his loaded carriage. He waves goodbye as he disappears down the road. Lady Harriet's voice comes from behind. Did he leave already? I turn to her. Yes, he went earlier than I thought he would. She beams. I bet he simply wants the trip to be over as soon as possible. In a sterner voice, she asks, now where's breakfast? I sigh and run off to the chicken pen to collect eggs. Luckily there's enough to fill our stomachs. With the eggs tucked inside my apron, I carry them back inside the kitchen to cook breakfast. To save money we did not employ servants. Mother and Father wanted to run the place on their own, plus once Father married Lady Harriet, a good chunk of his savings went to meeting wardrobe requirements. This is why I've always had to make breakfast, but it's not a hard task. Neither are the other chores I do. Every day, I still have spare time to spend with Nariel. Father doesn't like me working so hard, yet no one else cares as long as the house is clean. I finish the eggs just as Clara and Tessa get downstairs. Ah! There are the other two. Our sweet Ella has made breakfast. Your dearest stepfather has already left though, but I'm sure he remembers what you wanted, girls. Tessa yawns. Good, I need those pearls as soon as possible. And we need to eat quickly if we are going to get a head start on my singing lessons. I will surely get Prince Edward's attention by the summer ball. Tessa and Clara sit at the table while I put eggs on their plates. Tessa grins at me in mockery. What? I ask. Your face is covered in soot you know that won't ever get you into a ball, Cinderella. Clara scowls at Tessa. Tessa, you shouldn't poke the hand that feeds you. Besides, your room is a pigsty. At least Ella knows how to clean, unlike you. Very true, Clara. You should tidy your room before your lessons, Tessa, Lady Harriet says, and Ella, your father suggested last night that you finally make your debut at the summer ball. I strongly suggest you join our lessons today. I didn't know what to say to her. Did she really think I was ready for that? I mean, neither Tessa nor Clara are engaged or married. But, of course, all the girls near Prince Edward's age are refusing proposals. That won't change until the prince is married, and Lady Harriet probably likes the idea of 3 daughters in the running. While I still prefer to avoid social events, I realize their importance. Besides, I enjoy Lady Harriet's lessons. All right, I'd love to. She touches my arm lightly. Then you best clean up and put on a day dress. I nod, set the frying pan on the table, and rush to Clara's and my room. As I look through my dresses, I realize how faded the colors are. Father was right, I needed new clothes. I grab the nicest one and put it on, then I go to the mirror to scrub my face. I even went as far as pining my hair into a low bun. I want to prove to myself that I am a lady. I come downstairs without running or sliding on the railing like I used to do as a child. I smile at them when I enter the sitting room. They were kind enough to wait for me before starting. Good. You look much better, Lady Harriet says as I sit to join them. Now you may begin, Tessa. Tessa stands, sits at the piano, and starts to play and sing. All I can say is that she's getting better. It's mostly her piano playing that ruins her performance. Her singing is great, but it comes at a cost. When she finishes, we applaud. Lady Harriet says to Tessa, I think you need to work on playing the notes, sweetie. Your singing would sound better that way too. Oh, I almost forgot. Ella, you can play the piano. Why don't you play and we let Tessa sing? I smile, I'd love to. I head to the piano while Tessa gets up from the bench. I play the song for her and she sings wonderfully this time with the right notes guiding her. Clara and Lady Harriet clap again when we finish. Wonderful. Your voice has grown, Tessa. Ella, you're still a natural on the piano. Very beautiful, girls. Very beautiful. Clara, would you like to work on your painting while Tessa and Ella perform? Clara nods, of course, mother. Lady Harriet laughs cheerfully. I am so blessed to have such talented daughters. Some girls wish they could sing, paint, and play as well as you 3. I see a potential crown in our future. Someone knocks at the door. I get up, but Lady Harriet tells me to sit back down. It's just my friend coming to chat. No need to stop your playing. She stands from her seat and answers the door. It is as she says, a friend visiting to chatter about the latest happenings. Clara sighs, well, I guess we will practice without her. Tessa smiles, yes, and that means you can do the chores if you feel so inclined. I'll play for Clara. Tessa, she only does the chores to be kind. She deserves a break from them. Yes, and she's had her break. Now she can go back to them, Tessa says, sitting on the piano bench, invading my space. I stand. I don't want to make this any worse. She's right. I have lots to do today, and Tessa desperately needs the practice, I say, winking at Clara while Tessa scoffs at my insult. I head to the stairs, passing Lady Harriet and her friend who are still talking at the door. Before I can go up the stairs, Lady Harriet calls out to me, Ella. I have something to tell you, girls. Go back to the sitting room. I'll be there in a minute. I can't help but smile. This must be good news. I head into the room again and sit next to Clara. Tessa stares bitterly at me, but I explain their mother has something to share. Tessa beams when I finish. She knows it must be good too. Lady Harriet enters the room and claps. I've just been told that Prince Edward is officially searching for a bride. The king has allowed him to pick any lady from Amishi, but she must have a pure heart. To get a better grasp on what the ladies are like in their homes, the prince's servant will go to each young woman's house. He will be staying at each house for 2 days. Apparently he's already visited 5 households. He should be here by the end of the month. If we are one of the finalists, he'll come again for a whole month. So that being said, ladies, we need to rehearse. Our house also must be spotless. Ella, that task falls to you. Clara and Tessa giggle, excited to hear the news. My heart only drops. I've never cared about marrying a rich man, but I do care about my free time and being part of the family. I was happy Lady Harriet insisted I join them, but now she wants me to be the maid. Yes, in the past I freely chose to clean. However, this is different. Lady Harriet expectantly looks at me. Well? Get to it, Ella. You have lots to do. Clara registers what her mother is asking and opens her mouth in protest. I shake my head, signaling to her that it's all right. I can tell she doesn't believe me, but she lets it go for now. I obediently follow Lady Harriet's instructions. It will be a long day, but if I hurry I can still help Neriel at her shop. This enables me to get back into my working clothes covered in ashes from this morning. I roll up my sleeves, get water from the well, and scrub the floor with clean rags. Next will be washing the walls. I decide to be one step ahead of Lady Harriet. If she wants this house to look as pristine as the castle, or even more refined, I'll paint the walls white with silver designs. By 3 o'clock I painted the dining room white and got the first part of the pattern done on one of the walls. I didn't think I could finish in time to visit Neriel. Soon I'll have to make dinner. Thankfully the girls decided to skip lunch today so they could cut down on fat. Not that they need to. Clara enters the room and drops her pad of paper. Ella, it's beautiful, but I thought you went to Neriel's. If I had known you were still working I would have come in sooner. I smile and climb down the short ladder. Do you want dinner? Clara shakes her head. No, Mother insisted we skip another meal. She wants us to look our best when we go to the summer ball. I'll finish the patterns if you want to go to Neriel's. It will give me more painting practice anyway. I hug Clara carefully, making sure no paint gets on her. I can't thank you enough, Clara. No need to. Now get over there. I give her my paintbrush and rush out the door. I run all the way to Neriel's house. Neriel grins when I walk through her door. Like always, the place has designs posted on the walls, materials on the floor, and unfinished projects draped across the furniture. Just in time. I was beginning to think you weren't coming today, Neriel says, comfortably sitting on the floor while she sews a button onto a suit coat. Have you heard the news? Yes, and that's why I was late. I painted a room today so it would look pristine when the prince's assistant arrives. I'm really not excited about any of this. Neither am I. I have double the amount of requests. She stands and stretches. Then she tosses the suit coat into a pile, which I assume are her finished products. You, on the other hand, should be a little excited. You are included in that group of young women you know. I laugh at that. That's never gonna happen. Me and Prince Edward married? I'd also have to deal with his overprotective father. Speaking of fathers, mine thinks I need something special for the ball. He even gave me coins to pay for it. Great, I need to visit the market anyway. We might be cutting it close, but I think most of the stalls and shops will still be open. You can buy fabric for a new dress, Neriel says, grabbing her basket. I follow her out the door. Just when I think the conversation has moved on, Neriel adds, would marrying the prince really be so bad? Or, for heaven's sake, finding any man to snuggle with? You're one to talk. You've never been married, and you're 33. People refer to you as an old maid, you know. And I've seen plenty of men ask your hand in marriage. Yes, but none of them have been the right one, Neriel says as we walk down the dirt road to the market. Just at the right moment, Jeb, a young widower, rides down the road in his hay cart. He stops when he sees us. I smile at Neriel and whisper, there's a handsome farmer. Neriel rolls her eyes, but she adjusts her copper hair. Hello ladies, fancy a ride to the market? He asks. Why yes we do. Thank you very much, Jeb. You're such a gentleman, I exclaim enthusiastically. He gets down from the cart and helps Neriel up first. You're looking lovely today, Neriel. She blushes, thank you. After that she glares at me. He boosts himself up into the seat and then helps me. I say thank you again but say nothing the rest of the time, so Nariel is forced to talk to him. They are so cute together. I remember when Jeb's wife died. Father and I helped him on his farm so he could take some time to grieve. He swore he would never love anyone again like he loved her. I can relate to that. No matter how hard Lady Harriet tries, she'll never replace Mother, but that doesn't mean I don't love Lady Harriet. 3 years after his wife's death, Jeb asked if Nariel was married. I've been pushing the two together ever since. We thank him once more when we reach the market. I'll be buying seeds if you need a ride back, he says before we head off on our own. I want to tease Nariel, but her attention is quickly grabbed by fine silks at her favorite stall. Ooh, very nice. This is what Lady Lennet wanted for her daughter. She buys the silks with the coins they gave her to pay for the fabric. I hold the material while she looks through more options. I watch other people go by as I wait. I like to imagine what their stories are. They could be adventurers as far as I know. Maybe they have traveled the world, or perhaps they are visiting family, or they are locals I haven't met. Some people are familiar faces, but I still make up things. For example, the butcher has a missing finger. He chopped it off accidentally, however, it's more fun to believe he battled a vicious swordmaster. While I watch a cute little girl chase a puppy, I spot 2 faces I don't know. At least ones that I can't recall. They're both men about my age, taller than me and blonde. They don't buy anything, which seems odd. They're just looking around. I drop my gaze when I realize one of them is staring at me. I hurriedly turn around to Nariel, only to smack right into her. The fabrics in my hands almost crash to the ground, but I save them from the dirt. Unfortunately, a thin silk fabric from the top manages to escape in the wind. Ella, the silk! Nariel shouts. I hand her the heap of fabric and go running after the fleeing material. Before it goes too far, someone catches it. It's the man that was staring at me earlier. Just my luck, I suppose. I start to wonder if he's a thief. It would explain why he and his buddy aren't buying anything. When he doesn't sprint off, I run towards him. I slow down as I draw closer. I believe this is yours, he says, holding it out to me. I take it. Thank you, sir. I'll just be on my way now. He swivels in front of me. Are you from around here? I feel like I've seen you before, yet I can't put a name to your face. I bump into his arm with full purpose. Well, I've never met you, sir. He laughs and continues to follow me. Great, I've found a huge flirt and can't take a hint. I try to remember Lady Harriet's lessons on how to politely shut down a womanizer. If he was a thief, it would have been a fairly simple interaction. Kick and scream at the top of my lungs. How do you know we haven't met if you don't know my name? And I don't know yours? I stop walking and turn to him. Sir, what is the difference between a name and a face? Even if you recognize my name, who is to say I'm that person? Plus, if you were just trying to get my name in the first place, you've lost your chance. I firmly walk away into a crowd of people to lose him. Once I do, I find Nariel. Good, you got it. That was a close one, she says, handing me back the fabric heap. I smile and say that's why I'm here. She laughs and says nothing else for a while, so I add, I was thinking that when the prince's assistant visits I could go by another name. Nariel turns on me, not in a million years am I calling you by another name so you can avoid attention. Lady Harriet will refuse too. I drop my shoulders. Please. I don't want to exist in that kind of world. If I change my name, then he'll assume I'm a servant or something. We can even say that Ella went with her father on a trip. I stop short when I see the young man through the crowd. I duck behind one of the fabric tables. Nariel throws her hands in the air, now what? She pulls me back up just in time for him to spot me. Now you've done it. He's found me. Nariel notices the man and rolls her eyes. Is this why you want me to change your name? I nod. She grins mischievously and I figure that it's all over. She ambles toward him. Hello, sir. She says merrily to the young man. He nods politely. Yes, hello, madam. Might you be so kind as to introduce me to your friend? I only wish to know her name, but she refuses to tell me. Nariel glances at me and I shake my head. She turns back to him and starts off by saying, Elena. Her name is Elena. I let out my breath, but try to add annoyance, which isn't hard. I run to her, smile at him, grab her hand, and try to run away. Neriel holds her ground, forcing me to stay. Wait! Let me introduce myself. I'm Neriel, a seamstress. And who are you, charming sir? I yank on her arm again, but the woman has her feet planted in the soil. He's not a charming sir, Neriel. He's a stalker, I say through gritted teeth. The boy laughs. If I was a stalker, wouldn't you want to know my name so you could report me? I think about it and look down at his shoes, which are shoes worn by palace servants. I know your face and now your shoes. I have enough to report you. Neriel chuckles and pats my hand still clinging on her arm. I am sorry. She doesn't get out much. If you're not offended, then please tell us your name. He takes the heap of fabric from me and says, Aaron. Where are you two headed? Neriel points over to Jeb's hay cart. The two of them begin to walk. I stand there frozen in place. What just happened? I slowly move my hand to my apron pocket. My fingers brush the coins father gave me. I decide not to say anything to Neriel about spending them. Aaron is bound to follow us wherever we go. I look around, wondering what to buy. Then I see the little girl who chased the puppy. She sits in a corner clutching her stomach while eyeing the bakery across the street. When I reach the child, I hear Neriel call my fake name. The little girl looks up at me. I kneel next to her and ask, where are your parents? Tears stream down her face. I don't have any. I wipe the tears from her face. You're in servitude, aren't you? I sigh and weep along with the girl. I'm sorry. Whoever you serve, they'll clearly don't treat you like a human being. Go buy yourself something nice, okay? I give her my coins. Her face transforms into a delighted smile and she hugs me tightly. I'll go get my brother. We'll have a feast tonight. She runs off and waves goodbye to me. I wave back as Neriel and Aaron come over. Your father gave you those coins to cover expenses for the ball, Neriel says, watching the girl. I smile as I look up at the seamstress. That was a ball. The most beautiful ball I think I'll ever go to. I stand, feeling a prick of pain in my chest. I understand the king doesn't want orphans on the streets, but forcing them to work as servants until they're 20 isn't the best solution. Especially when the nobles who take them in treat them like slaves. Just another reason I want nothing to do with the king. Aaron stares down at the ground when I say that. I guess not everyone hates the king. I suppose I don't either, but I hate his laws. His idea of purity is absurd. At least the queen is reasonable, but she's not the one calling the shots. I don't know what Prince Edward thinks about his father's laws. For the most part, he hasn't been attending social functions, and Tessa claims he's out fighting dragons and trolls. I seriously doubt that's the case. I sigh. Jeb is waiting for us, we shouldn't keep him. I walk past Neriel and Aaron heading to Jeb. I am shocked to see how much he bought. In the back, piglets squirm around while the seeds take up space in the driver's seat. I'm sorry, the pigs were a good price and there wasn't room for all the seeds. One person can still sit up front with me, Jeb says. Neriel points to me. You can sit in the front, Elena. Protect the fabric. Jeb's face scrunches up in confusion when she says Elena. I shake my head. Oh please, pigs are my best friends. You can carry the fabric and sit with Jeb. I hand her the materials and prepare to climb into the cart with the adorable piggies when Aaron ruins everything. I could take you home. Neriel smiles. Yes, you can go with Aaron back to my place. She leans closer to me and whispers, besides, he's cute. I puff out my cheeks, wondering when the nightmare will end. However, I'm not so easily beaten. I point to Jeb and then to Neriel, making a kissy face. Child. She chides me. I run off before she can kick me. As I leave, I hear Jeb quietly ask why she's calling me Elena. Aaron snorts. You are the strangest girl I've met. Just take me to your piece of junk, coach, so I can get it over with, I finally say. The second boy Aaron was with comes riding on a horse and holding the reins of another. Both stallions are from the castle, which isn't strange since I already figured the two men were servants by their shoes. Still, the horses are beautiful, and I thought I would never ride such a fine creature. I see we're giving someone a ride, the man says sweetly. His appearance is so similar to Aaron's that I decide they must be twins or brothers at the very least. However, Aaron's face has sharper angles down to the shape of his eyebrows while the other man has soft and round features. Aaron grins like he won a bet. That would be correct. He turns to me. Where is it you are going? I point down the road where Jeb and Nariel went. Follow them. Aaron pivots back to the other man. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable back home, sir. The man appears confused for a brief moment, but then recognition hits his face. Of course, people will soon be wondering where I'm at. Safe travels, Aaron. The man left one horse for us and rode off. I turn on Aaron, my suspicions increase by the moment. Okay, what's going on here? Who are you really and who was that guy? Aaron winks as he gets on the horse. Prince Edward likes to get out of the castle now and then, and some staff members are lucky enough to get dragged along. He extends his hand for me to take. When I don't move, he says, not the trusting type, are you? Yes, and I know how uncomfortable it is to ride double on a horse. Did you even think about the strain it will put on the poor thing? A charming grin spreads across his face as he pets the horse's white mane. We can handle it. This guy's got some Pegasus blood in him, so he's much larger and stronger than other horses. And looky here, a pillion saddle. His hand moves to pat the extra pad behind him. The nightmare continues, and this man has definitely done this before. I haven't bickered with a guy like this since I raced Prince Ed. I suck in a breath, suddenly wondering if his name is Aaron. He couldn't be, could he? Aaron waits patiently until I finally grab his hand. He hoists me up until I'm seated. The horse trots forward, following the Jeb and Nariel's trail. Thankfully, Aaron is silent for once, allowing me to reflect. He did say he recognized me, and he never directly told me if that other man was Prince Ed or not. But it's been years and I've changed a lot. There's no way Prince Ed would be able to pick me out in a crowd. Once we reach Nariel's house, the sun sets for the night. Aaron jumps off the horse before I attempt to do so without his help. He places his hands on my waist while I rest mine on his shoulders. I dismount the horse with ease, and it reminds me of when I rode with Father. Yet the atmosphere is not the same in the slightest. I quickly let go before Aaron gets any ideas. Well, good night, sir. I hope that I won't see you too soon. He shakes his head. I'm afraid I don't feel the same, my lady. And I'd prefer a proper farewell. I run to the door and clear my throat. You're wasting your breath because I have no idea what you're talking about. That is a lie. I know exactly what he means, but I am not letting his lips touch my clammy hands. I then walk inside and close the door. I watch silently out the window to make sure he leaves. He does, but he blows a kiss before galloping away. Nariel laughs behind me. You are so silly sometimes. That boy is totally mesmerized by you. Me and 20 other girls, I say, turning only to be in awe of a dazzling white dress in front of her. That wasn't here earlier. You must have done that using magic, or I'm blind for not seeing it before. She tosses an ugly brown material over the dress. I have no idea what you're talking about. I come over and remove the brown fabric so I can examine the dress. The skirt is wide like most ball gowns, but not because of a hoop skirt. The dress just has layers and layers of fabric. It has doubled layered puffed sleeves with a sheer fabric at the elbows to the wrists. The same sheer material creates an illusion neckline until it meets the white silk. The silk is precisely folded, shaping the bust. At the waist, there is a sheer skirt layer with beads and jewels sewn in to match the sleeves. On top of that, a silk swag drapes around the hips. Who ordered this wedding gown? It's gorgeous. Nariel sighs. No one did, and I already had most of the fabric for it thanks to your father. My excitement drops. Wait, what? My father ordered this? Yes, he did. Your father and I agreed you should have a beautiful white gown for your debut or future wedding. A wedding? You're thinking that ahead. Well, it is made with the same fabric as your mother's wedding dress. The design is different and unfinished, but the silk is directly from hers. Well, thank you, but I can't believe you did this without telling me. You've really outdone yourself, Nariel. Naturally. As for that young man. Nariel. You've got too much to do, I say, shutting that conversation down. She laughs and then gets to work on the dresses. What a day.